So in October, I hit my year mark with my notary slash loan signing journey. And then around this time last year, I had passed my real estate license for the state after, I don't even know how many times. If you follow my journey, I took that exam so many times, but I never gave up. And I had narrowed down which brokerage I was gonna go with. And around this time, I was getting my fees together and contacting my brokerage to go ahead and join. And I'm gonna share because my wife and I were talking the other day, and it really got me thinking about what I learned in my first year as an entrepreneur and the things that people do not tell you. I think that there is such a myth when people say like, oh, I'm just gonna start this business. And let me preface this by saying regular working class people that don't come from money, and the people that don't have families that like have an established business and then they take over. I'm talking about from somebody that starting from being a corporate job or any regular job and then you jump to entrepreneurship. Not to say though that those other people don't have challenges, because they do, but I'm going to talk about people like myself. I think that we just see on social media all the time like, oh, I just quit my corporate job, I just like, you know, started my business. And then I won't say everybody is lying, but a lot of people don't tell the truth on social media. And so we just see, oh, I'm making $10,000 a month, I'm making this and I'm making that, and I'm making 6 figures in 6 months. I heard that so much, especially pertaining to real estate. And you come into it with a false sense of expectations, because it is uncommon and rare that you make 100,000 in your first year, unless in the real estate market you are in bigger markets like in California or New York or Miami, things like that, just because the prices of homes are more expensive. But just in a regular town, it is very rare for you to make 100 grand in 6 months or even a year. Like, you got to be doing some like serious things. I would even say you are doing illegal things to get that money if you have. And that's in any business, you know, unless you just have like a product like body butters or scrubs or candles or some things like that. But if you are just like starting out as a service provider, i.e. like a notary, a loan signing agent, a realtor, electricians, I've known people, movers, people that start their own business and provide a service, it can be difficult to make that kind of money. And it is because people don't tell you, unless you may have a small network of people, but you have to truly put a lot of money behind your name and your company to get your marketing out there, get your name out there. You have to have a Google business page. You have to get a website. If you're trying to go, you know, to a higher level or a luxury level, you have to look a certain way. So your appearance has to be, you know, up to par, because who wants to hire somebody that looks rinky-dinky or raggedy? That's being honest, because we are a very aesthetically pleasing society, and you have to have a lot of marketing budget. And that was one thing that I lacked in my first year of business, to where I feel like I could have been so further along than I am, because I didn't account that everything costs so much money and everything is on you. And you normally out the gate are not getting grants or small business loans or anything like that. And you may get a business credit card, and I do have one of those, but for a while I didn't have a business credit card until I was like 4 or 5 months in, maybe 6 months, I don't remember. But until then, everything is on you, and then your bills don't stop. So you still have to find a way to contribute to your household. So a few things that I do suggest is, when you are leaving your job to become an entrepreneur, is have 6 months to a year's worth of savings that you can cover all of your bills. If you have a spouse or a partner, y'all split it, have your portion, or if you're by yourself, to where you can make sure all of your bills are covered. That is in every aspect. You can have groceries, you can pay your bills, you got a roof over your head, your kids are good. Everything has to be good to where your lifestyle wouldn't change if you left your job. And the next thing is, if you don't have that, but let's say like in my situation, I needed to leave my job because of the work environment and for my mental health, have a family or a village around you that can help. My mom was such a great support system this past year and a half of being able to, when I couldn't and or I didn't make enough on certain months, to be able to supplement my income for us to be able to pay our bills. And also a huge shout out to my beautiful wife, because she really stepped up. And you hear about those things in marriages when people say, you know, oh, money can change or career shift, but that was something that we hadn't dealt with, as far as me not having like steady income and getting paid like monthly or every 2 weeks. And she stepped up tremendously and worked overtimes and was away from the house and really stepped up to make sure that my lifestyle didn't change. Our daughter was still good. Daycare was still paid for. Like, things went without a hitch, all while still being able to shop, have Starbucks when I wanted. You know, she never made me feel like it's just my money. You know, it was an us thing. And yes, things got tight sometimes. Like, we transparent over here 100%. Sometimes things got very tight, but we powered through and we worked through it as a couple, and we are on the other side and now know how to manage this, which in turn I am thankful for, because if this ever happened again or the roles were reversed, we know how our marriage works under pressure or stress or financial stress, and also that we can lean on each other. It may get tough, but we're gonna laugh through it, we're gonna joke through it, and we're gonna make do with what we have. And it was crazy because so many people around us like were like, y'all rich, like y'all doing this and that, and whoa, and like da da da. And we just start in our heads like, you have no idea. You have no idea. Like, it's tough out here, it's tight. But what we also did, which is my next tip, is budget. And there were times where if y'all have seen my coffee stuff, to where I have an espresso machine and I would have the little pods for it, and I didn't go to Starbucks some days or some weeks, or I didn't get my nails done, or I had to sacrifice on certain things to budget so that we could go to Disney and have a wonderful family vacation, or go to Jacksonville so she can get her her locks journey started and things like that. And to have our daughters to have experiences, sometimes we had to make sacrifices for the greater good. So you have to learn that sometimes when you are starting from ground zero, there are going to be corners that you can cut and there are corners you cannot. And that is my next tip. Learn the difference, because sometimes in business, when you're just starting out and everything is on you, one mistake can cost you so much in your business. So it's better to, like, let's say you're getting photography done for your business. Spend that, I'm just saying, $500, versus if you're trying to cut corners and get a $200 photographer. It's not that one is better than the other, but if you know that that $500 photographer is gonna give you the quality what you're looking for and that presents your best foot forward, do that. Because when you get that $200 photographer and your pictures are blurry or grainy or don't put you in the best foot forward, because everything is, you are a walking face for your business. When you interact with somebody, you are like a walking billboard for your business. If you are online and you have your website and they go to your website and they see that your pictures don't look great, you're not good quality, your website is poorly put together, they're gonna probably pass and pick your competitor. So don't cut corners where you shouldn't. Learn the difference. You know, if you need to start out with kind of generic like basic business cards, do that. But your marketing needs to be top tier out of the gate, and you need to have, on top of your savings, you need to have a marketing budget. That is my next tip. I did not realize, especially as a realtor, oh my gosh, nobody told me going into real estate is one of the most expensive entrepreneurial journeys you can do. You have to get signage, because you know, when you put somebody's house on the market, your sign has to be in their yard. And if you start picking up business for every house, you have to have those signs. You have to have your website. You have to have certain clothing for closings to look professional, clothing to go out and look at homes with your clients and still be professional. You have to have gas because your clients are want to look at homes all day. And it's several, sometimes it's several clients in one day, and sometimes it's 7 days a week. You have to have a food budget because you're out and you're on the road showing homes. And even with notary is not as expensive. It's very minimal startup costs once you get all of your supplies and your marketing. You can get some photos done, but again, I've shown you how to start that. It's not as much. But real estate, your MLS fees, your lock boxes for your keys. If you're selling somebody's house, you have to put a lockbox on the door. It is so many. Your bar fees, your Association of Realtor fees, your National Association of Realtor fees. There are so many fees that there were times when I started for like the first 2 months where I just cried because I was like, nobody told me about these fees coming into it. I would have not quit my job as soon or had a better plan to be able to cover these. I mean, like, it's so expensive. So again, make sure you have a marketing plan, and for you to have signs all around your city. So when you're getting off the freeways, you need to have signs. So like, you need to market yourself so well to where when people keep turning, they see you. So let's say you have clients and they keep seeing you everywhere. They get off this freeway in Trustville, in Hoover, in Mountain Brook, in Vestavia, in Fultondale, in Gardendale. Everywhere they're seeing your face. And let's say in 6 months to a year they want to sell their house, they're gonna say, oh, I remember Jessica, like her signs were everywhere, like let me give her a call. And it's not a guarantee, but when you stay so fresh on people's minds, they're more apt to call you, or even if they don't pick you as their realtor or the notary, they will call you with questions. Even if I've had people, like I have a good friend that's buying a house in California, and she called and just asked for advice, even though I can't be her realtor because I'm not in California, but just giving, and to put it out there because you're not supposed to do that. If you have a realtor, you can lose your license. I can give her advice because she doesn't have an agent right now, but just asking questions about the home buying process because you're on the forefront of their mind. Like, and even when you're out in public, like I got wearable marketing, which I talk about that all the time. Go on Etsy and get you some shirts made, or if you know somebody that has a Cricut machine. And I had shirts that said realtor, like funny, cute little sayings. I had a name tag that I wore consistently, so when people saw me, oh, you're a realtor? Oh, my mom's thinking about selling her house, or I have questions about the home buying process, or whatever. They're just conversation starters that are very, very important. And one thing for me that I had to learn was I had to learn to keep up my appearance most of the time, because you just never know where you're gonna meet somebody, where you can meet a client. And let's say I'm just out looking crazy, and in the middle of a conversation somebody's like, yeah, I'm looking to sell my house. Do I think that they're really gonna hire me with my sweatpants on, my hair looking crazy? Like, I'm not presentable. So I had to learn to get up in the mornings, put a cute outfit on, throw on a little bit of makeup, and just look put together. I don't have to have a full suit on or look 100%, but I need to be put together enough to know that, wow, she keeps herself up nice, she smells great, she looks great, she's cute, okay, we can work together, type of thing. And lastly, have a strong support system, as far as friends and family, and also networking. I have networked, and I need to do better at it, even further. But in the real estate world, to go to events that people are having and just meet other realtors, and sometimes you're gonna run into people that want to gatekeep information because it is a competitive business, and no matter what you do as an entrepreneur, you always have competition, but you can't let that stop you from networking people because you may need something later. Or I know, like, there was this thing going on with like another brokerage in our city where like us and them, people were like, oh, you're with so-and-so, and it was like a whole thing. And it's like, what does it matter? Like, we just all trying to get to the bag and get to the money. Like, what does it matter what brokerage you're with, type of thing. So all that to say, I have learned so very much in learning that entrepreneurship, and to use, I'm sorry, my last point, use social media. Social media on any platform, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, it is free and everybody always has their phones in their hands. And I found so many clients, especially like notary clients, and I've met so many like notaries from different places. I've been invited to speaking events. I have did virtual events for people speaking on how to be a notary and a loan signing agent and how to earn income and things like that, all from social media. They're like, I saw your reels or your TikToks or your YouTube videos and things like that, and make it specific to your niche. One thing I did when I started my notary journey was I made it very specific to Alabama, because when I started and I was Googling on YouTube how to become a notary in Alabama, I didn't see it. And I said, I want to be the person when people pop up for notaries in Alabama to come up. And that is literally the response I always get when people hit me in the DM. They're like, oh my gosh, I was looking up how to become a notary in Alabama and your video came up. And I'm super grateful for everybody that has watched it or that follow me now because of that. But use social media, because I have met and talked to people locally all around the world, and you don't know like what that can transition into as well for other opportunities. So learn to give yourself grace. I didn't make 100,000 in my first year, and at first, like halfway through, and I knew I wasn't going to, I got really like hard on myself, kind of fell into like a little bit of just like super disappointment and sadness. And then I had to realize like Rome is not built overnight, and great things take time. Like if you make an extraordinary amount of money up front, what do you have to look forward to? And I had to like literally sit down with my wife and us like talk about it, pray about it, and like I was asking God, like, do you want my business to fail? Like, hello, like what's up? Like, did you forget about me? But the message and the lesson that I learned was to give myself grace, because I'm so hard on myself, and that is a negative trait of mine that I have to learn how to say it is okay. Because I want to look back whenever I'm in my 5th year of entrepreneurship and us laugh, me and my wife, and be like, man, you remember like when my business wasn't bringing in a whole lot? Or remember like when I was stressing about X, Y, and Z? Or like there are things that we even laugh about now. Even like when I started my journey with social media, that is another form of income. I think people just don't realize like social media, you can make so much money from different social media platforms, affiliate links, partnerships, brand sponsorships, and product and UGC. So that is a journey in itself as well. So I was doing 3 businesses: real estate, notary / loan signing agent, and social media. And even when I started to take social media seriously, at first I saw nothing. And again too, people are just so, and I'm guilty of it, like why aren't I going viral? You know, but if you're not being messy or talking crap or being salacious, sometimes wholesome content can take a second to grow. But in general, it's okay to take steps to grow, because then you look back and you say, wow, you remember when I had like 500 followers? And like you're grateful for every step. I think when you just like hit that 1,000 or hit that 10,000, you miss the opportunity to be so grateful, because it's like, thanks God, but you can't sit in it, because you didn't have to experience that struggle to, man, I hit that 200 and then that 500 then that 750 and then that 1,000. Like you have to, for me, I can't wait, and I still do every single time when somebody subscribes to my YouTube channel or they follow me on any social media platform. I say, God, thank you so much. Thank you, God. And I mean that, because every follower counts. Every person that's watching my content or that contributes, comments, likes, subscribes on any of my platforms, it means a lot to me. And so you just have to be grateful. And I think that when people just go viral so quick and they get overnight success, they don't know how to handle it. And I truly believe this to the bottom of my heart, that for any entrepreneur out there of any field that may be going through the same thing as myself, I have truly learned in talking with my aunt and my wife about the season that I'm in. I truly believe it's because like God is like building me and preparing me for what's to come. Because sometimes when you get overnight success or a whole bunch of money too quick, you do stupid things with it. You're not prepared. You don't know how to invest it properly, and you blink and it's gone and you miss the opportunity. And so I truly and have seen that it is just things that he is preparing me for, things that I am learning daily, even like on shooting content and learning my audience and how to engage and giving my audience more of what they want and what works for me and what doesn't, and my schedule and being consistent. I am learning discipline. That is the biggest thing for me right now that I am praying and wishing for, outside of some other things that I won't share because those are personal. Is discipline in my business and my routine, just like me showing up for every single thing. Like it's just, God is showing himself so much, and when you just show gratefulness and gratitude for the little things, like one follower, I'd be, God, thank you. You know what I mean? Because it matters so much to me, and I wouldn't be an online social media presence without you all. And I love interacting with people. And also the last thing I want to say is be thankful. Tell your community you're thankful for them and how much you appreciate them, because without my community, I wouldn't keep doing this. But I know that there are a lot of you that hit me on Instagram or on TikTok and just say thank you, or like, my purpose is greater than like me. It's greater than myself, and I know that like you have to keep the faith in the vision that God has implanted in me, and so that's where I'm at with it. So I have some changes coming up in the new year. Something really big happened today, but I will share it once everything is final, because I am learning to share when the time is right instead of prematurely doing so. But some things that are gonna help boost my careers that I am very excited about. So just stay tuned for that. Know that all the entrepreneurs out there in whatever field you are in, whether that's real estate, notary, Amazon, anything that you're doing, content creation, because that's a whole thing. That is a whole thing. I get so many questions about like, how do I become an influencer, or how do I become a content creator? And if that's something that you want, let me know down in the comments below. But that is a whole separate, that's a whole nother topic. But just know that we got this. We have to uplift one another, support one another, buy each other's products, give each other advice, be a community, because it's hard enough out here. And gatekeeping information, being negative or being nasty and catty doesn't help anybody, and you will reap what you sow. So I love you so much. Thanks for tuning in, and send your girl some positive love. I love you all so much. Bye.